Good morning. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Capistrano Valley, where we're going to ask you to rise up out of your seats and join us with our opening song, which is called Center of Creation by Jennifer Russell.
Thank you. Everybody feels like fertile ground? So before anything starts, Reverend Alice would be disappointed if I didn't give the weather report like she says I always do. So, okay, here we've had May gray, and now we're 2 weeks into June gloom. So what that means is you need to shine your light even brighter to bring that sunshine in. Anyway, good morning and welcome, my beautiful spiritual family. Welcome to our center here in beautiful San Clemente. We are a trans-denominational center, and that just simply means that we welcome everyone. We respect and we honor all paths to God. We love you. We accept you just the way you are and just the way you are not. So that just includes everybody, doesn't it? So welcome today. We're going to start our service like we always do, lighting the flames of faith. And we perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all people and all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence that we call spirit. Fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. We light the candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and the practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring those Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of compliance with the will of God as the highest calling. We light the candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and the path of peace. We light the candle for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. And as our practitioner, Judee Chapman, lights that last candle, please let it represent the path that brought you here this morning. And now we'll have 2 minutes of sacred silence.
Join me for a couple of ohms. There is one life. That life is God. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. The present of spirit is peace and divine harmony through all things, through all people, through all experiences, throughout space and time. That spirit, that power, is divine love. It is the most powerful force in the cosmos. Knowing that each one here is one with that power, one with that spirit, one with that divine presence that expresses in and through each one here and each one watching on video. And I claim and know for each one that today, that this service, that this time together is filled with peace, with harmony, that each one is open to accepting and receiving exactly the right message, the right divine guidance that they need to hear today in this moment. And maybe they feel it with all of their being, with all of their senses, that awake awareness, that aliveness of spirit that is moving through them, expressing as them, as that wholeness, as that divine perfection, as that truth, that beauty, that joy that emanates and transcends all things. May each one come away from this day feeling fully blessed, prospered in all of their ways, knowing that this service unfolds with divine magnificence and harmony, with joy and celebration. And I release these words into the law, knowing it is already done, it is so. Please join me in saying, and so it is. Thank you. And now, please join me in reading this global vision, which is behind me, and is also available in full in the lobby, in case you wanted to check out the whole thing. We see a world that works for all, where humanity awakens to spiritual magnificence, where forgiveness is the norm, where resources are valued, cared for, and shared, and where there is peace, harmony, and justice for all. And today's affirmation, please join me. I now release all that no longer serves me, and I choose to embrace joy. And so it is. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jodie. Oh, it is my delight to see who is our singer today, our vocalist. I just love you, Jennifer. So please give a very warm welcome to the beautiful and talented Jennifer Trevor.
Good morning. Thank you, Joy, to you too. Shiny, happy people. Actually, I don't know if you're feeling happy today, but this song is all about that happiness. And if you listen to Dan Harris, he has a podcast called 10% Happier. And I know that when I come here, I always leave at least 10% happier than when I came. So if you need some ideas, listen to the words of this song.
Happy people don't cheat. Happy people don't lie. They don't judge or hold a grudge. They don't criticize. Happy people don't hate. Happy people don't steal. 'Cause all the hurt sure won't all the guilt they feel. So if you want to know the secret, can't buy it, gotta make it. You ain't ever gonna be it by taking someone else's away. So never take it for granted. You don't have to understand it. So here's to whatever puts that smile on your face. Whatever makes you happy, people. Well, happy people don't fail. Happy people just learn. They don't think they're above the push and shove. They just await their turn. And they've always got a hand or a dollar to spare. They know the golden rule and what you're going through, even if they've never been there. So if you want to know the secret, you can't buy it, gotta make it. And you ain't ever gonna be it by taking someone else's away. Never take it for granted. You don't have to understand it. So here's to whatever puts a smile on your face. Whatever makes you happy, people. Ooh-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. rare. We all deserve to be happy while we're here.
Thanks, guys. Sure. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Jennifer. Yes, we do deserve to be happy and filled with joy. No matter if you don't feel deserving, you deserve it. A lot of people don't feel deserving, and that's crazy because you are love. Oh, good morning again. And I want to start out my talk with our yearly theme, Living Out Loud. You remember that? We're 6 months into that, so I want to know, how is that serving you? How are you living out loud, and how is that serving you in your life's journey? We all know that the energy of the universe is everywhere, and everything is energy. So when I look out today, I see beautiful mass light. Spirit illuminated. Over here, I see a little dimming. I don't think someone slept good last night. Over here, there's a little dimming of the light also. Maybe you're not feeling great today. But we are all here together, all of us illuminating our light for everyone else to see, because we are truly all connected and sharing with each other. So according to pop culture, living out loud means living your life with sass, spice, and flair. The Urban Dictionary elaborates further to include living genuinely, open, and trustworthy. So put simply, living out loud is the practice of being yourself and not listening to anyone else's opinions of you. So be yourself. I especially like the part about living out loud means sass, flair, and spice. You remember the Spice Girls? Yeah, let's go, so good. So for the next 6 months, while we continue to live out loud, have that be your mantra. You know, everything you do, live it with zeal, live it with zest, and live it with joy. Today, my talk is going to be short because we have a very special presentation at the end of the service. So I just wanted to let you know that. It's not because I didn't prepare. I know some of you thought that, but it wasn't because of that. Because I've been preparing, believe me, this is a tough one. So the theme for June is embracing self-care. So to live your life to the fullest, self-care must be embraced on a daily basis with your spiritual practices. It's through self-awareness of the mind and the body and the spirit that we realize that we are a perfect entity and that we have all we need always for our highest and best good, to be successful and to live life to our highest potential. We have it all. It's all at our fingertips, right here, right now, today. You don't need to do anything else but know that, depend on that, and receive that. It's our divine inheritance. We have everything we need. We have all the love we need. We have all the joy we need. We have all the resources right here at our fingertips. But when I think of self-care, I immediately thought of Spa Day. at Glen Ivy, going to the mud bath, going to the spa, going to get a massage and a facial and just relaxing. That was, self-care. That's exactly what I thought about, just relaxing. That kind of care is very important also, but it's only the tip of the iceberg. We must also care for our mind and our spirit, in addition to our physical body. When I think of self-care, I think of love. We need to, first of all, love ourselves. That's the highest self-care that we could give each other, loving ourselves. So that leads to today's topic, balancing grief with joy. Grief is such a personal thing. It's hard I won't say hard, it was uncomfortable, maybe a little difficult, researching this because, we have all had grief. But it needs to be said, and we need to be able to go through it. It's been said that one of the hardest things you will ever have to do is to grieve for the loss of a person who is still alive. That's a loss of a love relationship that has failed. You've lost that other person. A loss because of mental illness or of addiction. I've been grieving for 16 years over my granddaughter. It's a grief, and you work through it. You grieve I have a very close friend who has dementia and lost short-term memory, has long-term memory, but lost short-term memory, and it's frustrating for them. So you grieve for their pain and for their loss. We also grieve for the loss of the connection we have with a parent or a sibling that we've had a conflict with and resentment with, and we're no longer connected. There's a real grieving there because we've lost part of our family. So balancing grief with joy kind of is an oxymoron to me. It's kind of, doesn't sound like it should go together. But His Holiness the Dalai Lama says this: the way through sadness and grief that comes from great loss is to use it as a motivation and to generate a deeper sense of purpose. There is a poem by Hafiz, the Persian poet who was born in 1325 in Iran, and it's called The Sacred Dance for Life. Sorry. This is it. I sometimes forget that I was created for joy. My mind is too busy, my heart too heavy for me to even remember that I have been called to dance the sacred dance for life. I was created to smile, to love, to be lifted up and to lift up others. Oh, sacred one, untangle my feet from all that ensnarls. Free my soul that we might dance and that our dancing might be contagious. Hafiz. In this human physical experience, we are all born, and eventually we will all die and pass away. So everyone will experience grief and sadness to a degree. But not everyone knows how to handle these strong emotions during these grieving times. We all have to learn that for ourselves. And we have to learn how to find that joy within us again. My first experience with grief was when I was 11 years old and my Grammy died. She was only 58 years old, and it was a shock and a surprise to us all. I was very close to her, as close as you could get, and it really hit me hard. But it was nothing compared to what my mom went through during that time. Jane Goodall says that the depth of our grief is a reminder of the depth of our love. So what is grief if not love persevering? I have talked to several friends and families, some of them here today, about preparing this talk. They all tell me they're grateful for the time that they did have together with their loved ones. And sometimes it was a wonderful release, sometimes it was sad, but it was always a feeling of gratitude for having been loved like that. The researchers say that the death of your child, no matter what the age, and the death of a spouse or a life partner is the most severe. It's because you're so woven together through your life, through your love, that you're entangled. So when that person leaves the physical plane, it feels like you're severed. It feels that way. Your feelings and your emotions are raw and exposed. And your heart feels broken. Rumi says, the wound is where the place where the light enters. I never understood that one, but now I do. It's when your wounds are open, the light of God and the presence of God's love can enter you. And it is the place where the healing begins, for sure. The healing begins then. So this quote from Rita Mae Brown made me have a new perspective on loss and sadness. She says, sorrow is how we learn to love. Your heart isn't breaking. It hurts because it's getting larger. It's getting larger. And the larger it gets, the more love it holds. She has a memory of grief, and she says, I still miss those that I loved who are no longer with me, but I find I am grateful for having loved them. The gratitude has finally conquered the loss. So there's number one, gratitude. The gratitude has finally conquered the loss of the loved one. Grief is a mixture of emotions, and it can be tough to understand what they are until you're right in it. And through this cloud of sadness and loss, beams of sunshine can shine through. Joy can happen in the midst of grief. With support of your friends and your family, and with patience, both can happen. Patience. Don't push yourself through it. Be with it. Sit with it. I was reading a story, and I don't remember all the different names and everything, but I can tell you that it was a woman who was publishing a paper on the Canadian Indians and the violation that happened there. And while she was preparing this article, she got a severe pain through her arm that went all the way up through her neck. And so she went to the doctor, she had x-rays, she did all this stuff. And they said, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong. So she finally went to the Indian shaman, and he said, you you need to grieve. You need to grieve for what happened 150 years ago, 100 years ago, 15 years ago. You haven't grieved for them, and you need to do it. So she left, and she went out into nature, and she sat by a stream, and she camped there, and she grieved for 2 weeks, and the pain was gone. She was holding that grief within her body. So, it affects everything. So we need to be patient with ourselves and to remember the gratitude. Remember the gratitude. Meister Eckhart says that truly it is in the darkness that one finds the light. So that when we are in sorrow, then this light is the nearest to all of us. This light, of course, is the energy and the presence of God and the God's love that God has for us. So this brings us to the how. How do we do it? How do we balance our grief with our joy? Like I said, you don't have to wait until your grief is over before you can find that joy again, because that doesn't happen, because grief is a thing that it changes. It changes. You get a new normal, but that a bit of that grief is always with you. So we learn to move through it and live with it, and we have our spiritual practices to help us through that. And we create a new way of life after that person is gone. So when you understand that you can have complex emotions all at the same time, then you might feel a little more open to having happiness and joy in your life. I know people think they shouldn't feel joy, they shouldn't feel happy, they shouldn't have fun because they're grieving. But no, that's what heals us. That's what gets us out of that and moves us forward. Finding joy while grieving sounds like a mixed message, but weaving sparks of happiness together with the sadness is how the healing begins. Grief has a very holy purpose. Through our feelings of loss, we actualize true gratitude. When we begin to see the depth of our grief as reflecting the depth of our love, then we know that the healing begins. Winnie the Pooh, and Winnie the Pooh has a lot of good things to say, but Winnie the Pooh says this: "How lucky I am to have something that makes saying goodbye so hard." I think that's so cute. Isn't that the truth? The price of deep love is deep grief. The prophet Khalil Gibran says, "The deeper sorrow carves into your being, the more joy you can contain." So there it is. There is a balance. There is a balance there. And the joy that you feel heals your mind and heals your body. So we balance grief with gratitude. Grateful for the time that we did have together. Grateful for all the beautiful memories that we shared our time together. The memories are priceless. After my dad passed away 11 years ago, I brought joy into that grieving by remembering the trips that we took. We went to the Amazon together. We went to Machu Picchu. We went to Palau and Angar, the islands in the Marshall Islands, where he spent his years as a Navy man when he was during the war. We went back and visited that little island together. It brought me such joy to have those memories with him. But my fondest memory is when I was a kid. at least once a month, my dad and my mom and my brother who's here today, we would go out into the desert and we'd catch snakes and lizards. And it's a wonder my mom didn't do that. She stayed in the car. Although she tolerated it. But we would catch iguanas, and then one time Greg thought he went and picked up he said, oh, look what I caught, and it was a baby rattlesnake. I'll never forget that one. So, no, it's and that was wonderful, joyful, fond memories. And by remembering things like that with my dad, the healing began. My mom and I, we attended, after Dad passed away, a grief group that was here in San Clemente once a week for 6 months. And it was so helpful to have that support group. And of course, we had all of our friends and our family, that we supported each other. And that's really what helps during a difficult time. So in closing, I want to share with you a beautiful poem by my beloved Jalaluddin Rumi, and this is called Bird Wings. Your grief for what you've lost lifts a mirror up where you are bravely working. Expecting the worst, you look, and instead, there's a joyful face that you've been wanting to see. Your hand opens and closes, and opens and closes. If it were always a fist, or always stretched open, you would be paralyzed. Your deepest presence in every small contracting and expanding. The two as beautifully balanced and coordinated as bird wings. That is balancing grief with joy. I choose to embrace joy. Thank you. Thank you. Let us pray. In this most holy and sacred moment, we recognize and we acknowledge and we know that there's only one life. This is God's life, this is our life, and it is so good. It is the first cause to all of creation. It is unconditional love. It is compassion, empathy. It is kindness. All the qualities of God live and move and express as each and every one of us. We are the light. We are the joy. We are the presence of this divine essence. And we are an excellent idea in the mind of God. We are perfect in our imperfect way. And so today I affirm and I decree that all is well. And then as we go through our life, balancing our life through grief and joy and happiness and sorrow, we depend on prayer. We depend on meditation. We depend on being in nature and in the silence, knowing that we are all connected. There is no disconnect. We are one. And so knowing I speak the truth, and this truth truly does set us free. Set us free to be the illuminated spirit that we are. So I anchor my prayer in joy. I anchor my prayer in love. I let it go, I let it be, and say with me, and so it is. So it is, amen. And now, once again, Jennifer Trevor.
So when I first was asked to come in this Sunday, I didn't know about the two of you. And so this song is actually a very popular graduation song, very much about wishing people well on their journey, and it just feels very apropos.
I hope the days come easy and the moments pass slow, and each road leads you where you wanna go. And if you're faced with a choice and you have to choose, I hope you choose the one that means the most to you. And if one door opens to another door closed, I hope you keep on walking till you find the window. If it's cold outside, show the world the warmth of your smile. More than anything, yeah, more than anything. My wish for you is that this life becomes all that you wanted to. Your dreams stay big, your worries stay small. You never have to carry more than you can hold. And while you're out there getting where you're getting to, I hope you know somebody loves you and wants the same things too. Yeah, this is my wish. Oh, I hope you never look back, but you never forget all the ones who love you in the place you left. Hope you always forgive and you never regret, and you help somebody every chance you get. Oh, you find God's grace in every mistake and always give more than you take. But more than anything, yes, more than anything, my wish for you is that this life becomes all that you wanted to. Your dreams stay big, your worries stay small. You never have to carry more than you can hold. And while you're out there getting where you're getting to, I hope you know somebody loves you and wants the same things too. Yeah, this is my wish. My wish for you is that this life becomes all that you wanted to. Your dreams stay big, your worries stay small. You never have to carry more than you can hold. And while you're out there getting where you're getting to, I hope you know somebody loves you and wants the same things too. Yeah, this is my wish. Oh, and my wish. And that you always dream big. Yes, that's my wish.
Jennifer, that was a perfect song. It was perfect. Never have to have more than what we can carry. Thank you. Let's give her another hand. Thank you so much. Beautiful. And thank you to our beloved Diane King Van for everything that you do and everything that you are. Thank you so much. And our fabulous band, we have a guest, Grant Clarkson, today on the bass. So thank you to our beautiful band. So wonderful. If you're here for the first time today, if you're a guest, we have a gift for you. And if you would like to raise your hand, we can hand you a little basket bag, and you can fill it out and take it to the gift store. And we have another gift for you. No, seeing no one? Okay, that's fine then. So it's time for our committed conscious giving. So would the stewards please come forward?
And I'm going to ask Wade to come up and help with what, because I don't quite have my voice back.
So if this is your day to give, bless you, thank you. If you're online, we have, it's being posted. You can go to our website and donate that way. We are fully supported by your gifts and your love at this time. So let's do our prosperity affirmation together. My offering is my acceptance of God as the source of my supply, and it symbolizes my faith in the abundant flow of this supply. Thank you. Thank you.
We are held in the hands of grace, forever safe in the arms of love. Like a child receives protection from a mother's warm embrace, we are held in the hands of grace. We are held in the hands of grace, forever safe in the arms of love. Like a child receives protection from a mother's warm embrace, we are held in the hands of grace. We are held in the hands of grace.
As these financial gifts circulate throughout our community, we know that each recipient is blessed with divine abundance. We are so grateful for the energy of God as money. Thank you, God, for this gift of prosperity. And so it is. Thank you. We have many, many people that serve this center all week, all month, all year long. If you've been in service this week, if you'd please stand so we can acknowledge you. Those are all the practitioners and everyone. Thank you so much. Our practitioners today are Judee Chapman, Paula, God's calling. Answer that call. Absolutely. Judee Chapman and Paula Manis and Patrick Freeman are all our practitioners today, our three today, and they will be in service for you. For you, if you're hitting a bump in the road and you need to have someone else see your truth, then you can go and be with them, and they will give a prayer to you that it's an affirmative prayer which will lift you up. So avail yourself to this gift that we are giving to you this morning. So I think today we're going to do birthdays because we didn't do it last week. We're going to do birthday. And now I just want to invite this couple who has been with this center for over 20 years, and it's a bittersweet it's a bittersweet day. They're retiring from being our song leaders and our invitation. They have done so many wonderful, so we have a special presentation. Please bring to the platform Wade and Kimberly Woldridge.
So we had our big choir show last week, which was the first week of June, and we normally do the birthdays on the first week of June. So is there anybody here who has a birthday in June? Come on, at least 1/12 of you should be standing up now. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Oh, and then I guess it's time for invitations. Well, we've got only one invitation, and then we have some good news and some bad news.
What's the invitation?
Well, on Wednesday, June 21st, in honor of the summer solstice, we're having a labyrinth walk here in the sanctuary starting at 6:30 p.m.
Well, that sounds cool. But let's get the bad news out of the way first.
Well, the bad news is that this is our final day of doing invitations. We're stepping aside to let some other light shine in the center.
We don't have to get up early for Sunday rehearsals anymore? That sounds like good news to me.
Well, it's good news for us, but it's bad news for the people that enjoy the invitations.
Okay, then what's the good news for everybody else?
Well, we've compiled a list of our top 10 favorite announcements, and the inimitable Clark Wilson has pulled them together into a recap video. So we're going to sit down for a second and let you see that. Lights. So these two guys walk in a bar, which is weird because you'd think the first guy would have seen the bar after the first guy walked in.
It's good so far, Wayne.
Thanks. It works so perfect in rehearsal. All of a sudden.
Called conscious connection because like we're all connected cosmically, but we like need to get conscious to it. So there's something far out happening every night of the week around here. It's like what happens on like Thursday?
Tool on over and radiate some positive vibes with Mary Brogdon and those bookbusters from 6:30 to 8:30. They're studying this boss book called Home with God by Neil Donald Walsh.
Oh, psychedelic.
Well, here we go again. You know, back in my day, we could put announcements on the board and people knew how to read them themselves.
I don't know why, but childcare is available. Back in my day, children knew they should be seen and not heard.
Aaron, please select.
I'll take alliterative gatherings for 400, please.
This gathering features Patrick Freeman, RSCP, speaking on the topic, Don't Be Boring, Create Your Life as an Adventure.
Rick, what is happy hour? I mean, what is happy hour?
No, that is incorrect. Kimberly.
What is Wednesday's wisdom?
Yes, that is correct. That puts you back in the lead. Please select the next clue.
Oh, I like that new age philosophers other than Deepak Chopra for 600.
Home, home,
you'll have a slap-happy good time. To defend yourself against this, merely ask, is it more like this? Or like this? There's more than one way to sidestep this issue. This is presented on a love offering basis.
You can either place your stamp of approval on the form or place your stamp of disapproval on the inviter.
The Bipartisan Women's Spiritual Caucus, also known as the Women's Circle, will continue this Friday the 1st at 7 p.m.
Now, we need more CEO women. We need more congresswomen. We need more artist women. And we need more judge women. We need to detoxify ourselves from all these judge men.
Excuse me, Roseanne, but it's Judgment Detox. It's a book study on Mondays at 6:30 covering the book Judgment Detox by Gabriel Bernstein. It's about being judgmental, not about judge men.
Oh! That's different. Never mind. And you were supposed to be with the dog for 24 hours a day.
Well, she said I could be gone for 2 hours to go to church on Sunday, and of course, to Conscious Connections.
Gee, Portia is not just a dog. She's my baby.
Miss Sparkle, really? What kind of parent are you? Have you ever been to Reverend Patty's parent forum like the one coming up this Wednesday? Miss Sparkle, I sent you to attend this Wednesday's wisdom. No! No! Today, we have a get-together afterwards called Conscious Connections, where we're going to put our heads together with Mary Brogdon about today's topic.
Mebs, touching of cones should be reserved for the sleeping chamber.
No. I thought I saw you with another person from France.
Yes, that is my matrimonial unit, Primat.
Oh, well, we have a women's circle here at 7 o'clock next Friday, May 3rd. She might be interested in attending.
I will communicate this data to her when she returns with our seedling.
Oh. If you have children, you might be interested in this. And everyone loves the food up there.
Excellent. We will consume mass quantities of fiberglass and beer.
Conscious Connections will not meet today, but normally it sounds like this. Remember that life is always coming right at you, and your consciousness determines how that appears. For example, Bobo wants you to put on these 3D glasses, and it will appear that this puppet is coming straight at you. Well, this class is an example of how you always have to keep expanding your life. Because if you don't keep expanding it, it might contract when you release those. Aw, look. Can you believe I married this clown? I love you, Bobo.
Then at 12:30, you will have opportunity to see medium Jennifer Creed at the Cathedral for Spiritual Living. She will be here for 1 hour to connect with your loved ones in spirit world to bring message of hope and healing. Also, we have sandwiches.
Did you know the average Russian says "niet" 86 times per day?
Нет.
On your
Hey, while you're all standing, why don't you stand and sing the closing song?
Can we bring the lights all the way up, please?
And then stay for cake.
Lights all the way up, please.
Lights
back
up,
there.
please, somewhere back there.
Thank you.
What are we singing? Oh, yeah, Love is My
Love
Decision.
is my decision.
Love is my decision. It's up to me to give up my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision. My decision, right here and now. Love is my decision. Stand on the bridge. It's up to me to stand on that bridge. Love is my decision. No one else can make me forgive. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision. My decision, right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down that road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision. My decision, right here and now. My decision, right here and now.
I live my life with joy. I live my life with flair, sass, and love. And so it is.
So it is.